So today, one thing happened, and this has been a recurring theme, but it's normally in lower potencies. So if you guys don't know who I am and don't know anything about my background, I'm an entrepreneur, building an AI agency, trying to quit my job, build the life I want, build the life for my family. And I work a 60-hour blue-collar job. And today, so I work Monday to Thursday, sometimes more. But today, and what I want to talk about, this is the example for the basis of what I want to go over, is I'll tell you what happened today. So what I like to do at work, I like to get done as much as I can in the quickest amount of time possible. I believe that this trains myself to get the best output done for my personal life, right? Because at the end of the day, the agency, at the end of the day, my online business is what matters to me most. And so there's like 40 hours of work orders that I get per week, sometimes more. And I finish them all within the first 2 days. So I finish them all 2 days, then I should, get 2 days of free time. Now, not free time because obviously there's problems, and I'll clean and I'll fix here and there, whatever that may be. So today was one of those days. I still did a lot of work at work, but for the most part, for like probably a third of my day. So I probably had 3-4 hours of just free time that I could have done for really whatever. And I ended up, there's a sales video that my boy was telling my other boy and I to watch, because the AI agency, my boy and I are focusing on one thing right now, right? This is inspired by Gary Keller's book, The One Thing. If you chase two rabbits at the same time, you won't catch either one. So we have decided that sales skills is the most important thing that we should be focusing on. And like Gary Keller says, in the morning is when your focus chemicals, when your willpower is the highest to do stuff. My boy and I are just focusing only on sales. So my first little bit of free time today, now I could have done this in higher outputs for sure, but my first little bit of free time, I was watching this video. And this video, even the first 30 minutes, it was a 4.5-hour video, even the first 30 minutes was so incredibly saucy. There was so much information, stuff that we could utilize that was incredible. So after that 30 minutes, one of my coworkers came in, so I had to turn off the video. But I still had my AirPods, so I could have still listened to that video. But regardless, the first 30 minutes, I was doing this. Now, after this, and I'm making this video with a lot of emotion. Now, I don't know. See, when I say a lot of emotion, this doesn't necessarily mean a sad emotion or an anger emotion. I'll kind of explain it as I go. But after this, I didn't do anything productive. I went on my phone and I was about to finish something at work, right? Be productive just in any way possible. And it was 4 o'clock. I get off at 5:30. I ended up going on TikTok to post one of my videos that I made, right? Like a viral video for my brand. And I took off my screen blocker. So what I do is I have Opal. If you guys don't know what Opal is such an incredible app, but it basically creates friction with you to go on apps or applications or websites that you don't want to go onto. So I have this on 24/7, and I'll put on 15-minute breaks just so I could do whatever I want to do. And I turned this off because I wanted to watch this YouTube video, and I didn't want every 15 minutes to have to go into Opal to reset it and then go back into YouTube. This was a mistake. So I ended up going on TikTok. I posted this video, and I just scrolled. And I scrolled, and I scrolled, and I only scrolled for 45 minutes. And I want to preface this. It's not like I scrolled for 4 hours. I only scrolled for 45 minutes before I broke the hypnosis. But in that time, I could have been doing something productive. Now, this isn't the thing I want to touch on. The thing I want to touch on is, it's very windy if you guys can't hear this. This is 5:30, by the way, 5:30 p.m. Live so north in the middle of nowhere, but I'm not complaining. I'm blessed to live where I am, truly. But the thing I want to talk about is that I literally would have rather sat staring at a wall. Like I was in my office chair for a little bit, and I just had my hands on my head just staring at the roof. Now, I was literally doing the definition of nothing. I was sitting in a chair and looking at a wall. I was doing the definition of nothing. And that was more appealing to me than watching this video that I knew would help me so much to achieve everything it is that I wanted to achieve. And I guess the thing I want to touch on is, at the end of the day, whatever I say, I want other people to take value out of it and help them along their journey of success, whatever that may be. Why is it that everything I want to do that's productive, everything I want to do that moves the needle, even in a broader sense, and if you're an entrepreneur, I guarantee you've experienced this. Well, actually, I don't even know, because it's just me, but I do know a lot of people who do experience this. When you're doing something, you'll put off the things that move the needle the most, right? Like for me, sales skills, and I'll put it off with so many little tasks, things in quadrant 1 or quadrant 3, whichever one it is. Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You want to say in quadrant 2, that's where the work gets done. But I just do pseudo productive tasks that don't actually move the needle. Now, why is it so hard? And why is it such a struggle, to the point where it is literally easier for yourself to stare at a wall than to do productive things, than to do things that you know would increase your success? And after I did this, I knew this whole entire time when I was scrolling, and again, this is only for 45 minutes, and even me saying this, I feel like a failure, not just to myself, but to my 2 boys, because we're making this business together. And the whole time I was scrolling, I wasn't conscious enough to the... I wasn't conscious enough to basically say instantly, like, okay, I gotta stop scrolling. However, I did feel the wisps of, okay, what am I doing right now? Kind of thing. It's fire. Burning their fields. So anyways, I knew it, and why? And I know that this comes down to psychology, right? Evolutionary psychology. But one thing that I don't know, and I study psychology a ton, I believe that's one of the best skills you can have, especially, if you want success in life, whatever that may be. And I truly don't know why I would rather stare at a wall than to watch that. Because I know that it's dopamine, right? You're always getting yourself a sense of something. But maybe it's because of work. I'm just spitballing. But regardless, why is that the case? It's just so hard. Like for you and me, I remember, and I'm not saying this as an excuse, one single bit. But Bill Gates, he said, if he grew up in our time, like with our phones and everything that we have, he doesn't know if he would be who he was today. Now, it's not an excuse, but it just shows you how much chances we have to be derailed off of the path of greatness, off of the path of success. And it's just, it's very extremely frustrating. After I scrolled for 45 minutes, I just felt like garbage. Like I just sat on my desk with my head down. It's like I'm betraying myself, and I'm knowingly betraying myself, but I can't stop. It's evil. It is evil. But at the same time, you have to have the willpower, right? There's systems, as James Clear says, Atomic Habits. talking mushrooms. I don't swear in my videos. I accidentally flashed someone though. But as James Clear says, right, you want to create as much friction as possible to your bad habits. But at the same time, you need to be conscious and you need to have that. Now, to what ratio? I have no idea. Truly, I have no idea. I try to strengthen my systems as much as possible so I don't have to rely on willpower. Willpower is like a muscle, right? This is proven. The more you exercise it, the weaker it becomes. So I want to exercise as little as possible, but you still do need that drive. And I just wanted to share this because I'm trying to attract a certain group of people, right? Young entrepreneurs, people who understand online money, who understand the machine you hold in your hand that can have so much influence if you just know how to tap into it correctly. These are the people I want to do, right? The people who are destined for more, who recognize this opportunity in the time that we are now to make something great of themselves. So I guess a lesson to take back and how we can overcome this, because I know I'm not the only person who experiences this. If I could delete all social medias, by the way, I would. But I'm building a brand, right? So I have to post on all of them. But regardless, a lesson for yourself. I believe that I wouldn't have scrolled that long if my Opal was still on, but still. And so the lesson to take for you, recognize yourself, what your needs are, and set up systems supporting that so that you don't fall into bad habits, whatever that may be. And that is the first step to doing stuff that moves the needle. Then the second step you can work on is doing those tasks that move the needle that are hard to do. But in my opinion, it all starts with getting rid of those bad habits. When I got into my car today, the last thing I wanted to do was pick up my phone and talk for 15 minutes. But I knew that if I was productive, I would feel better with myself. This is the only way I would feel better with myself than wasting those 45 minutes at work. So, know what you want, get systems surrounding that, learn the systems. Atomic Habits, honestly, just if you understand the fundamentals of that, literally just Atomic Habits, you will have so much more success in both being productive and in stopping, badness. Jordan Peterson said, and this was actually really smart. I love Jordan Peterson. If you guys don't know, love Jordan Peterson. The reason I love him so much, well, I like what he says, right? I like some of the stuff he preaches. But he was born 2 hours away, 1.5 hours, 2 hours away from where I'm born. And I live in the middle of nowhere, let me preface. Middle of nowhere. Literally nothing good has come in. Well, I guess there's Edmonton, but that's 4 hours away. Like literally from myself north, there is nothing of significance. Well, I can't say that. But nothing of great significance on a globalistic, historical perspective. But anyways, he taught me this. It's whenever you're doing something, you always want the positives and the negatives to propel you to what it is that you want to achieve. So what that means is, let's say you want to stop a bad habit. For me, and this is an example. So I have a bad habit. I don't want to touch on it in depth. I believe I will get there to a certain point with my personal brand, but I don't want to get that deep yet. But I was so fed up with myself. Like, I just felt like garbage, just like I was scrolling when I was scrolling. I was so fed up with myself. I watched what Peterson had to say on that topic. And he said, not only do you want who you will become when you stop doing this, but who you will be if you continue. And this is in sales too, right? It's like, what do you do if you don't achieve this? What do you do if you stay the same? And you have to have that. Humans, we're more wired to save ourselves from a loss than the potential for a gain, right? So it's the exact same thing used in this principle. You want to know what you can achieve, but at the same time, you want to know what you're at risk of experiencing if you keep doing it, right? So, as Peterson said, you want the devil in that equation for stopping something bad or doing something good, but you just want him behind you. You don't want him in front of you, stopping you, making it harder, but you want him behind you, pushing you forward, right? That's one of the best pieces of wisdom I've gained in a while, honestly. And I do study human psychology and mindset and all of this stuff, and I have never heard it that simplified. So that's my piece of wisdom. But for you yourself, guys, incorporate what I just said, right? And build systems surrounding what you want to do. Me, as soon as I get home, I'm going to make systems on TikTok. I'm going to see if they have some sort of screen time thing. By the way, I have like 2 layers of friction already. If I can make 3, that's amazing, right? I want to make 3. But that's that. So that's what I have to say for today. If you guys watch this, I don't know, it's just a rant. I didn't have any structure in what I was saying. I mean, the lesson was there, but regardless, I don't know. I just wanted to share this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. You know, follow, subscribe wherever you're listening or watching this on. Just follow my journey, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to be something of great significance. I'm going to be a source of positive influence for the world. Moving forward, I'm going to leave a positive impact on people and help them gain perspective, which I gain, that is not taught in today's society. So that's all. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Follow my free, or join my free AI agency Discord. It's completely free, right? No guru stuff. You guys can ask questions. Follow me on Instagram for more daily updates. Make a daily update every single day. But above all, thank you guys for watching. Stay wise.